There's a lot of lies, misinformation coming out in the U.S. government right now, and Hegseth lied again when he tried to claim that the U.S. has any type of advantage in Iran, because if they did, they wouldn't be begging NATO countries to step up and help them. Plus, they've acknowledged that they have a shortage of interceptor missiles. They're going to run out literally in days, which is kind of embarrassing. You're winning a war, then how is it you didn't even prepare with necessary equipment to be able to defend all your bases?
Because these are all really good things you guys are saying here that I'm not seeing anywhere else. Because when they said air superiority, they said it this morning, bro. I was like, there's no way they got air superiority from that angle. But if they're not even going into the Iranian airspace, like, how can you claim air superiority? I'm going to go into Truth Teller space because I know he knows a lot about military equipment and all this shit. Because this Chinese radar shit is driving me mad, bro. Just there's certain things that aren't adding up. So I'm going to jump in here real quick and
send a clear message to the president and government. Anyone comes next to...
He's real knowledgeable on, military weapons, technology, capabilities, all the nerd shit. So let me see what we can get here with this stuff.
Eliminate whoever comes 1 meter close to whoever it is going to be killed if they come next to a house that has a weapon or a facility that has weapons.
Yeah, so in brief, quickly, what's going to happen is Hezbollah is going to do what Hezbollah needs to do. 10 to 15% of its power will be directed to protect their backs against the Lebanese army, and 85% is going to be launched on defending the Lebanese border, and everything is going to be all right. I mean,
yeah. Like I said, man, at this point, there's only a military solution. If that means you got to clean up house, you do what you got to do. All right, you get rid of the traitors. They want to defend the country and they want to work with Israel. They're traitors. Use your due process to take care of business. In fact, don't bother. Just fucking take care of business, period.
Yo, Truth.
It's time of war. What's up, man?
Yo, what up, bro?
How are you?
Thanks for giving me a mic. I was in Silly Space and, we're having a discussion on what we think is going to happen and everything else like that. But the one thing, dude, that is really perplexing me, it's one of the biggest questions I have during this entire conflict. Number one, the United States is claiming air superiority. Number two, me and you both know about the Chinese radar and surface air missiles they acquired that literally counter the stealth. Pete Hegseth went up this morning with Kane talking about we got air superiority, blah, 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 at the Pentagon, right? So which one is it? Is it the United States has air superiority, or are they kind of, trying to, how do I say, paint a picture that isn't going to be as negative, that's going to lead to backlash? So I think if the American public knew that the Iranians have capabilities of shooting down F-35, support with this war would drop off significantly, especially since the cornerstone of this conflict is literally via the F-35 and Raptors and B-2 bombers, etc. So what's the latest you've heard with that, Truth, when it comes to these Chinese radars, U.S. air support, superiority, etc.?
So I haven't seen any indication of air superiority. I've heard a lot of Hermes drones getting taken down because they're still trying to track where all the air defense systems are and the launch sites are, and they're not going to just unload or risk losing F-35s unless they know.
They lost 3 yesterday, and they said that they shot them themselves.
Will you hang on? That was in Kuwait. Okay, it wasn't in Iran. It's a different mission in Iran. I don't know if you're paying attention. They want to know where the air defense systems are and where the mobile launch platforms are. This way they can try to take those.
All right, guys, I'll turn on the volume now. I got y'all.
So that hasn't happened. Those F-15s, those 3 F-15s you're talking about, that took place in, Kuwait? So, different story, right? And yeah, they didn't expect Iran to even be there, but they were. So that's not air superiority if they're getting struck in Kuwait, right? That's embarrassing. And of course, the U.S. tried to save face by lying. And there was a U.S. military professor that said it's bullshit. You're not going to have friendly fire from Kuwait 3 times in like 2 hours. Those 3 F-15s were struck by Iran, and that's what a U.S. military professor confirmed. I posted that, by the way. So they're lying. There's a lot of lies, misinformation coming out from the U.S. government right now, and Hegseth lied again when he tried to claim that the U.S. has any type of advantage in Iran, because if they did, they wouldn't be begging NATO countries to step up and help them. Plus, they've acknowledged that they have a shortage of interceptor missiles. They're going to run out literally in days, which is kind of embarrassing. You're winning a war, then how is it you didn't even prepare with necessary equipment to be able to defend all your bases? And that's why they're all getting struck heavily, especially
not that they're able to do shit. It's on record that they're failing miserably.
Yeah, I know, but they lie. Like, for instance, there's that bullshit stat that I think it was Qatar that put out that they intercepted 100 out of 100 missiles. That's a total lie.
What the hell? Shit.
I thought that was me.
Truth?
No, he
The fact,
just
man,
got
and the
out.
fact that that's what they were using as a.
Truth, you cut out for about like 10 seconds there.
Yeah, you're talking about the 90 percentile that Qatar was claiming for.
Well, that's been destroyed now, including a massive weapons depot. So again, and they're also short on Tomahawks. They actually have to resort to bringing in more air defense batteries, and also additional Tomahawk missiles from South Korea. It's kind of embarrassing to run out after 3 days, isn't it? And it's a so-called military superpower. So it's pure weakness. Look,
So
Iran doesn't have.
Real quick question
Yep.
for you. So, okay, that's actually a good point you made. So because you know what, Larry.
By the way, this is Fox News that reported that Hexeth is pissed off that because the UK got struck hard in Cyprus, right? Their
Yep.
bases there got struck hard, so they're scared chicken shit. They're like, "Oh, we don't want to deal with Iran; they're too powerful." And Hexeth is pissed. This is a Fox News report that carried this, that NATO countries don't want to step up and help the US.
That makes sense.
But guess what? But look at what they've done to these European countries. They've caused their cost of natural gas to go up well over 50% now. So on the one hand, you're punishing them with their energy costs, one of their biggest costs to run, factories, whatever it is they need to do for their economy. On the other hand, you expect them to. You get it, right?
Oh, my bad. Sorry about that. I had my shit unmuted. Okay. So let me go. Let me.
You
ask
understand the point? So they punish NATO countries with higher energy prices as a result of this war, and then they expect them to step up and provide resources to basically add fuel to the fire and shoot themselves in the foot. Because the longer this goes on, the higher the energy costs are, the more expensive it is for European countries to run their factories.
Yeah, and they're going towards Russia as well. I know Qatar and a couple of these other Gulf states were reaching out to Russia to try to get that gas because Qatar lost a significant. Well, they lost one of their main companies.
Yeah, they had to shut down their natural gas pipeline because of instability in the region. Is that winning, Myron?
No, that's L. So let me ask you this then. Just going back to the radars and everything else like that. So I'm trying to put together here all the instances where this Chinese radar might have been used, but it was underreported. Because Larry from the CIA also said that he thinks it's bullshit that those jets were shot down by friendly fire. That's retarded. It's got to be the Iranians. But my thing is, does a surface air missile reach that distance in Kuwait from
over 700 kilometers? From beyond.
Just quickly, Truth and Myron, if you look at the map, you will see that the southern western side of Iran just coincides with Kuwait. So if you're inside Iran, like to maybe 100 kilometers, and you have the S-400 or S-300, you can shoot it down, and then it drops in Kuwait. So it was shot down in Iranian skies, but right at the border, and then it fell down. And so these defenses are inside Iranian territory.
Okay, so let me ask you this then, Truth. Knowing that they might have this, stealth, right, the stealth detection, how are the Americans and the Israelis right now engaging with Iran based off of this new capability with these Chinese radars? Because we do have some evidence here, even though it hasn't been reported, that these radars are probably being used. So how are the Americans and the Israelis combating that right now? Are they shooting way outside of Iranian airspace? Are they flying lower to the ground? I've seen reports of that. Can you quickly summarize all the different tactics they're using that signify they have advanced air detection from an Iran perspective?
Yeah, so I haven't seen reports of, again, the F-35s or the F-15s, the F-16s breaching Iranian airspace yet.
Okay.
If they're able to, breach the radar or go below it, that hasn't been disclosed. There have been some Iran.
Oh, you cut out there, Truth.
One of their own jets just to say, hey, look, our jets have breached Iranian airspace now.
Oh, you cut off there again.
Yeah, I think he's referring to the fact that some footage of
Come into
Iranian...
Iraqi airspace and destroy their
You
buildings.
keep cutting off over and over.
Okay. Is this better?
I don't know.
We'll see
still
right
cutting
now.
out?
No, we can hear you now. So I guess I'll ask this. Well, so you're saying that all the missiles that were shot or the ballistics, whatever the hell it may be, from these jets,
they're shooting usually through the Navy, through battleships.
Okay.
They're launching Tomahawks from there, like that. There's actually video footage of them launching Tomahawks, which they're running out of, by the way, It's generally from the Navy. It's from a safe place, and then they'll move around and they're mobile. And yeah, Iran is, I believe, shot some ballistics. I don't know if they've sunk any of them or struck any of them. That I haven't seen.
So the jets, to be clear, so what you're saying is the Israeli and American fighter jets are not entering Iranian airspace. They're shooting from very far out.
Exactly. They're stationed close by, or they're by the Persian Gulf, and they're just launching, tomahawks, and they're pretty effective, right? The darker color as well. Some of them have been able to breach the air defense systems and strike targets.
Okay. All right.
And there's a tiny possibility. There's the B-1 airplane that can drop from high enough
That's
not
the
to be
B2.
caught by that.
The B2
No, there's the B1.
There's the B1 as well.
B1. Yeah, that's why it might be able to fly higher and drop from higher levels where the radar cannot get. But that's the possibility.
But right, I don't think so.
Quick update. Rocket launches detected from Lebanon towards northern Israel. That's it.
So I don't think they have entered because Iran actually, Iran is flying its own MiG-29s and its own fighter jets. That's also proof that they don't have air dominance over Iranian airspace.
Say that again, bro. You're coming in really muffled. What was the proof you had that you don't think they have airspace superiority?
Iran is flying its own fighter jets in the skies over Iran. So
okay. Do you have can someone give me proof of this stuff? Because these are all really good things you guys are saying here that I'm not seeing anywhere else. Because, dude, I'm like, bro, what? I think when they said air superiority, they said it this morning, bro. I was like, there's no fucking way they got air superiority from that angle. But if they're not even going into the Iranian airspace, how can you claim air superiority? And then I'll ask this one last one, because this is going to really show the answer here. During the 12-day war truce, did the Israelis actually penetrate into Iranian airspace so that we can compare and contrast? Or were they doing the same shit they're doing now? We're shooting out further out.
Well, they tried, and a few of their fighter jets were struck. Again, they claim there's conflicting evidence. Iran claims it struck 5 F-35s. That's also Russian media press covered that as well. I presented that evidence back then, so they did attempt to. But generally what they did was get close to it, launch missiles, and then take off and claim that they did breach the space. They didn't. And again, the advantage they had in the 12-day war is they didn't necessarily need to breach the airspace to do strikes, is because they had all those Mossad terrorist cells, and they were using Starlink as well. Even when they shut down the internet, it didn't matter, because again, through Starlink, they could remotely operate their Mossad terrorist cells and then use loitering drones, and also their own. There's a name for it. It's a certain type of missile as well, to be able to strike certain targets. And they had agents on the ground, many agents on the ground, Afghanis, Indians, etc. They were wreaking havoc and also blowing up cars, blowing up tires, and doing terrorist attacks within Iran. And then what they would do then is do a recording of these terrorist acts, and then claim that it was the fighter jets that did the bombings, just to claim some kind of air superiority, which they never had. So it was a bait and, well, not just, it was smoke and mirrors. It wasn't true that it was done by fighter jets. It was done through Mossad terrorist cells from within. But they've lost most of those assets now. They don't have them anymore. So now it's much more difficult. And now they're CENTCOM's claiming, they're making a lot of claims that I haven't been able to fully validate. They lie a lot too. A lot of the CENTCOM sites have been struck, by the way, and they're claiming they've done a lot of carpet bombing and destruction from Tehran. They've done some, but they're exaggerating it. They also claim they took out 11 Iranian battleships. They show a video of one getting struck, and it turns out it wasn't even sunk. And so they lie. They lie consistently about what they've done.
They hit a bunch of fishing ships, literally wooden fishing ships, and then they try to tell the world that we hit this many, but they hit only one. The fire went to the rest of them that were, basically beside it, all of them, at this port, and then they're trying to sell that as we destroyed Iranian Navy. Bunch of clowns.
Iranian Navy doesn't have just 11 battleships, first of all. So even if that was true, that's again a ridiculous misrepresentation. Two, they never sunk 11, and when someone asked for evidence of the other 10, it was never presented. So they lie. They're just looking to capture headline news to boost morale, because they're getting their asses handed to them. They never expected Iran to be able to strike all the bases. And even Anna Paulina said on the second day, To try to make Iran look like some terrorist nation. I can't believe Iran struck over 8 countries in 24 hours. Not even the U.S. has done that, right? They struck 7 countries in a year, right? So who's the real superpower here, Myron? Who's the tough guy? So you can't have it both ways. On the other hand, Iran's weak. We breached the airspace. On the other hand, they struck 8 countries in 24 hours. What'd you do about it? Nothing.